Yes, good morning, coffee conversations with on how you doing today? Long time no see, long time no see. Yeah, want to share with you we got a visit from the COVID virus in our household and been down a little bit. Some other health and wellness issues we've been struggling with, but yet we are still around, still here, still dedicated to sharing knowledge, promoting consciousness, sharing information and inspiration from a global perspective. That's what we do here. Coffee Conversations with Greg J. Well, since just our first one, we wanted to just get back in the saddle and, try some things out and see how we are feeling behind the mic. And, we're just now getting back up and running strong. Wear your mask around here. I know we're loose and we outside and all this here, but that COVID thing is real. It was quite a struggle for us around these parts. Some other health issues too, just try to just keep me in prayer, my folks, keep me in prayer. I'm praying too, praying for you. If you pray for me, I'll pray for you. That's what it goes. The circle of life, right? Yeah. Want to comment on a few things this morning and then I'll get on out your way so you can get to your day. Really proud to announce that we're going to be able to show the coffee conversations on EUR Web. Lee Bailey, the world renowned media icon, Lee Bailey, taking us on for EUR Web coffee conversations with Greg J. That's really good to be able to share a lot of cool stuff right there on that website. Went to the Tupac exhibition. It's called Wake Me When I'm Free. It's down there at the LA Live downtown Los Angeles. Those of you who are not in the Southern California area, you can Google it. If you want to travel to Los Angeles to see it, you got until September 5th. But I would encourage all of you music people to go and see this fantastic exhibit. My hip hop heads, go see it. You'll love it. You will really, really love it. My music industry people, you'll love it. I mean, for me as an industry journeyman industry executive, I was around when Tupac emerged onto the scene, and it brought back so many memories. Uh, and then it's just a totally immersive exhibit, excellently done, 5 stars. It's really, really incredible. You're able to see the life of Tupac from his mother, raising him as a single mom and as a Black Panther. Fantastic stuff, right? Then you're able to see his notes from his many, many notebooks, his lyrics, his set list for his performances, his track list for his planned CDs. And what struck me in examining those documents was that, the brother had some meticulous handwriting, just very neat and orderly. So inside of his soul, everything was there for him to lay out and bless us with the music. The underlying theme is that the brother was a revolutionary. His verses, his lyrics were talking about the struggles of Black folk in the community, and while some may say, okay, violence and all of that, well, not so fast. I think you should go and examine what he was really, really saying in his work. The thing was incredible. I spent a full 3.5 hours in there planning to go back before it gets out of here at September 5th. Really, really excited. Now, for you West Angeles Church of God in Christ friends, here's some uh, trivia that I learned in the Tupac exhibit. The church is in one of Tupac's videos. It's amazing to live and die in LA. I was really, really happy to see that. Him identifying the edifice as an icon of Los Angeles. Cruising down Crenshaw, he takes a shot of the North Campus, not the cathedral, because that one was shot before the cathedral was built, I believe. But yeah, that's pretty good. It was a great, great exhibit. I was rendered speechless, I guess I could say, by the end. I mean, it was just such a total sensory experience. Shout out to the folks that curated that. We're going to try to get one of them to come through Coffee Conversations. Hopefully, we have enough juice to get Coffee Conversations with the curators of the Tupac exhibit. It's called Wake Me When I'm Free. Please check that out. Elections are coming up. The primaries have already happened. Now the general elections are in November. All we want you to do is vote. Whoever you choose, whatever side you choose, just make sure that you exercise your right to vote. If we don't vote, we don't have a voice. That said, in Long Beach, you have Rex Richardson running against Susie Price. We support Rex Richardson. In the state assembly, you have Al Austin. We support Al Austin. We support Karen Bass in the city of Los Angeles. We support Jan Perry running for the 37th district. There's a few others that we will shout out and say, hey, you know what? We support you because we believe that you will do a great job in these governmental halls. We support Robert Garcia for Congress. He's the mayor of Long Beach. And right now, and he's making a run for it to get into Washington, D.C. The guy does get some stuff done. You need some young, progressive voices in these political times. And I think he's one of those that demonstrates, young, vibrant, progressive perspectives that's needed in this country. The country is in crazy shape, man. And I just really believe that we must exercise our vote to be the voice that we want, and it's important. It's important. It's a turbulent time. I know. Have you been watching before they took their summer break? Had you been watching the hearings on the January 6th insurrection? We talked about that here on Coffee Conversation. I showed you some video that I had acquired from it was kind of a point of view video. It's about 45 minutes long, and it's really kind of scary watching this guy crash the gates of the Capitol and then go wander through the Capitol, and it ends right at the point where they shot the young lady, and she ultimately died. But it was a compelling piece of video, and I've been trying to find it, and I for some reason I can't. And so if I'm able to find it, I'm going to play some pictures of that, some pieces of it, because it was amazing to see all of these people storming the Capitol, the bastion of our democracy, and what a time it is in the United States. The last couple of years, we've had a national reckoning. You're seeing the rise of nationalism. You're seeing the rise of racism. I don't think that the things that we see racially it's new. I don't think it's new. I think it's just been amplified through social media. I think it's been when we were locked down, we saw, Ahmaud Arbery getting killed, chased down and killed by vigilantes. We saw George Floyd being murdered by the police. We saw Breonna Taylor, we heard about it. It just on and on and on and on and on and on and on while we were locked down. And so it became amplified, and the current generation took to the streets, and standing up for social justice. Social justice through art. We've been, we're all about arts and culture here. We've been studying a few artists for projects that we're working on at the Dream Creator Studio. And, we were studying Jean Basquiat. We were studying how art is a voice for the struggle. So many artists out there. And having said that, there's a conversation going about murals and public murals that happen on our streets in the cities that we live. I mean, from LA to Long Beach, you see uh, outstanding murals. I began to document these murals on my Instagram account, Hannibal the Radio. You can check me out there, Hannibal the Radio. And because as I was working at the radio station, we would be driving through diverse communities, right, of our city, and I would be in the deep, deep hood, as we say, and out of the ashes, I would see beautiful murals painted by artists that live in these communities, and I would take pictures of them and go hashtag hood art. So it's an interest to me. In the wake of the civil unrest that followed the murder of George Floyd, we began to see panels and the businesses were boarding up their businesses to try to protect or mitigate or minimize damage from people who may be in the streets unhappy at the continued murder of young people by at the hands of the police. You know what it was. You saw the news. Perhaps you were even out there, but I just found it fascinating that there were such beautiful expressions, artful expressions of protest. And so there is a conversation about protest, right? And so I'm going to be getting deeper into that as we go along because I'm very, very curious because there are different perspectives based on what your view of the world is. If you are from a certain part of town, maybe the messages of Angela Davis did not resonate with you in the way they resonate with me and others. If you are from another part of town, then you say, heck yeah, with the quote from Malcolm X, right? So, this is the whole thing about protest through art. It is all based on human perspective, based on your view of the world. At the end of the day, hopefully, as you view the world, we look at everything through a different human lens, right? But at the end of the day, the common denominator is that police brutality is wrong, police murder is wrong. And I'm not banging on the police because we certainly need them. I would say this, we said defund the police, and oh boy, crime is going down out here, ain't it? Man, it's not so funny. The country is sick, the nation is sick. We're going to have conversations in the future, very near future, about expatriation. Should we expatriate? We're going to have Dr. David Horn come back. We attempted to do while we were sick a coffee conversations with Greg J, and it just didn't work out properly. So we're going to have him come back and examine this notion of expatriation. And one thing that he said is like, maybe it is wise to at least examine dual citizenship that African nations are offering us. I think that's a wise thing, and we're certainly doing it here. As you know, we went to Ghana last December. We're planning a trip really, really soon. We're going back, but we are organizing a trip now for next summer that you can go to. You can join us as we go to Panifest, every other year, every 2 years, it comes out. It's a cultural festival in Accra, Cape Coast, Ghana. And I just think that, every African American, every American descendant of slaves should make a pilgrimage, if you will, to West Africa. This is where somebody in your DNA came through that region of the world to get here in the Americas. Even if your folks are from, okay, you claiming Jamaica, that's cool too. Still, same, West Africa. The slave trade is widely flung in these Americas, and millions and millions of Africans were taken in and put on slave ships across the Middle Passage, the Atlantic Ocean, and landing in the Caribbean, Brazil, Mexico, all these different locations, all up and down this hemisphere. And of course, here in these United States in America. of America. And I just think it's very, very important for you to examine that origin. We did. And we have a couple of videos. I'm going to show you a video before today's conversation is over it's kind of a city tour. It's just really the opening of an introduction to Accra. And we're going to leave you in the next couple of days with some links that you can sign up to go with us to Panafest. We'll be leaving around about July 23rd or 22nd of 2023. We'll be coming back August 5th or 6th of 2023, and we have a full itinerary for you that we're going to be publishing here in the next couple of days, and we'll be talking about it. We're going to show you videos. We're going to be talking to some of our travel experts to show us what you need to do in order to get to Ghana, to travel with us, and we'll be definitely examining the itinerary. We want to tell you about the slave dungeons. We want to tell you about Cape Coast. We want to tell you about Accra, Kumasi, the W.E.B. Du Bois Center. I mean, did you know that W.E.B. Du Bois spent his last 2 or 3 years in Ghana? He is actually buried there, and there's a whole complex, the Cultural Center. You can go through his home, you can go in his side of his library, you can see where he lived, and then you can also visit his tomb. We had the opportunity to spend some significant time on the grounds of the complex. It was our last day in Ghana. We had been immersed in, man, such culture. I mean, we went to 2 slave dungeons. We went to, we drove the roads of Ghana in the back roads. We saw so much and experienced so much. And so it was time for us to take our plane back to the United States. And we wanted to make that last stop. And we sat there for about 2 or 3 hours, and it was quiet and peaceful, and just contemplating, one of our greatest scholars, which is W.E.B. Du Bois. I mean, we can get into the conversation about who was right, him or Booker T. Washington or Marcus Garvey and all this here, but certainly he is in history one of our greatest voices of our culture. So Ghana, this is going to be a Beach City Radio and Dream Creator Studio production. We're organizing it now, promising you a top-notch trip to West Africa, Ghana. We're also thinking about returning to South Africa. If you know, some of you have gone on to my tours, to the South Africa Jazz Tour. Been doing it since around 2010. And, with COVID, of course, couldn't travel. But we're using that one also to go back to the Cape Town Jazz Festival and go to Johannesburg, South Africa, go to Cape Town and end up in Zambia for the Victoria Falls. That's what's going on there. So just keep tuned with us, keep lockstep with us. We're going to continue to give you culture. We're going to give you travel. We're going to give you arts. We're going to give you information. This is what we do here at Hannibal Media Group, Dream Creator Studio. We're just trying to do it, man, and link up with us. One thing about it is we will promise you on each of these trips a top-notch experience. We work with nothing but the best in organizing this. We want this to be the trips of your lifetime. So Ghana 2023, are y'all ready? Speaking of Africa, I would like to shout out the African Focus Organization. I was inducted into an African family this past weekend. It was really, really phenomenal. They had a king there from Uganda, from a kingdom in Uganda. And I was there. Shout out to Beltis and his wife. Congratulations on your new baby. That's my family. They are from Cameroon, and my DNA is from Cameroon. And so I was able to come in to Cameroon, into a Cameroonian family. And I'm still learning a lot about the customs and the food and the clothing of Cameroon. But we still organize and import coffee from Cameroon. Please come to one of our coffee and art pop-ups. I think our next one is the second Saturday in September in the Arts Village of Long Beach, California. But you can go to our website also and get your taste of Africa. But yeah, we're doing all things Cameroon, you know. So curious to know who is that person? Who is that man or woman, or man and woman, who came out of Cameroon, what is now known as Cameroon? It was a kingdom back in those days, and survived the slave dungeons and made it all the way here to these United States. And generation after generation after generation led to me. It's a deep contemplation to me. I mean, if you are an American descendant of slaves, you probably have the same contemplation. It's deep, man. It's very, very deep. All right, so that's what's up. 2023, uh, Ghana Panafest. Travel with us. Y'all with it? You need about 15 days. Take off. Travel with us. We're going to go over there and have a great time. Thank you, African Focus, for the experience of being inducted into an African family. The event was incredible. It was very, very cool. Very cool. Thank you so much. Coffee and art, that's what we have going on. Coffee and art pop ups all over the place. So, we're going to increase our presence across the streets of Southern California with our coffee and art so that you can just see, you know, uh, what we have to offer to help you make connections with your African consciousness. This is what we're doing out here. You know, been sick, man, and I was had a birthday and had a birthday party planned that was going to be African themed at an African art gallery. Shout out to Luke Angel. And I had to cancel it because I was just very, very ill, and you know, uh, thank the Lord, just still standing, still strong, still in the game, still here. My mission is not done. I'm still here to give you all, uh, you know, music, arts, and culture, right? And that's the doggonest truth. We got something coming up called Long Beach Gives. Long Beach Gives, and so I think we'll be sharing that also with you here on Coffee Conversations. If you've been following us since we debuted Coffee Conversations, which was born out of uh, the stay-at-home orders when COVID first knocked us on our butts, just began to say, "Hey, let's have a cup of coffee," and reach out across my database and invite people in to talk. And we've had conversations all over the world. We've had Maxine Waters, we've had Dr. Arikana Chiambori Kwao, we've had politicians, actors, actresses, influencers from all over the world, from Johannesburg, from Cape Town, from Nairobi, Kenya, to Ghana. I mean, just all over the world, New York City, Chicago. I mean, it's just really a blessing to have this platform. Yeah, right now our numbers are low, but that's okay. We're working to build them so that more people can see what we're doing here. We're working to improve everything. I mean, that's what we're all about. We know we have something here. So we're here about sharing culture, promoting culture, and our coffee and art pop-ups are a part of all of that. And hopefully you can join us one day when we have our art walk, when we have our arts village down there in the East Village Arts District of Long Beach. Just come on through, check us out. I think I've covered everything this morning that I wanted to cover. I'm going to think about it. I mean, I hope you have your coffee today. I hope you are. Uh, how are you feeling now that you're getting back? We outside, they saying, but just wear your mask. Wear your mask, please. I know it's a hassle. I get it. But that thing is real. It took me a long time to get it, but now I guess with the new strain, my brother was saying, "Man, everybody's getting it." When I informed him that I had, contracted the COVID virus, and I was bedridden, man. I was down for more than a week, and I'm never sick. It was just really an incredible experience, very humbling. Had a lot of time in my sick bed to reflect on life, to reflect on choices I have made in this world, not in a way where I was expecting to be, knocking on the pearly gates. I never thought that. I always believe in the healing power of the Almighty. But it still was a time of deep reflection. I am grateful for life. I am grateful for a career. I'm not rich, but I had a steady hand in the career of my choice from the time I was a youth, wanting to be a broadcaster, wanting to be around the music industry. And I've done that, and I've made a solid and respectful name for myself. And I've been able to be a part of some really strong projects that made a difference in our community. I've been able to make a difference in the community. I've been able to put what was embedded in me from the time I was a child of giving back to my community. I've been able to put that truth in action. And I am very, very grateful for the favor that I have been given in order to walk in these different doors and create some stuff, and be a part of some things. And even now, walking around and, people are able, hey, Brother Greg, and I'm thankful for that. I'm ever, ever grateful. This is the type of thing I reflected on, as I'm laying down, can't get up. It's just crazy, man. You know, reflective. All right, y'all. That's all I have to say. Remember, Coffee Conversations is coming to the EUR web. I'm so happy about that, man. And hopefully, you'll be able to go to EUR web and see it before this week is out. That's how soon this is. That's why I'm announcing it now. Part of the EUR web family, the Lee Bailey family. Let me tell you something. My first full time job in the industry, I had a few odd jobs, right? But my first full time job in the black music industry was with Lee Bailey back in the day, Radioscope, right? Started out as an intern and rose to be the director of sales and marketing. And through that experience, I was able to travel this country, selling advertising, creating marketing projects for corporate clients on behalf of what at that time was the top network of Black radio stations, Black radio programming in the country. We had a number of different shows that we syndicated across the country, and Radioscope was the flagship. Some of y'all are old enough to remember Radioscope. It was kind of the Entertainment Tonight of Black folks. I was part of the team that created the first nationally syndicated hip hop radio show as rap began to explode into our consciousness. We had one of the most popular gospel radio shows, Inside Gospel, hosted by um, Candida Mobley and written and produced by Lisa over there at LA Focus. And man, just so many people. LA Focus is a predominant magazine. Lisa Collins, I've been knowing hers for 30 years, and she was just always about that gospel music. Inside Gospel was her show, and she reported the latest happenings in gospel, and that's what was going on in those days under the tutelage of the great Lee Bailey. And now I'm going back, being able to put this particular platform on his platforms and help us help one another, bolster uh, listenership. We're in a different day now. Everything is digital. It's about digital media now. You still have your radio stations and all that there, but there's a lot of different ways that we can communicate and raise our voices of consciousness. We've got to be about telling our own stories. And that's what we're all about here at the Hannibal Media Group. We operate inside the Dream Creator Studio, Long Beach, California. Shout out to Lisa Collins, Candida, Lee Bailey, Felicia Morris, the poetess, Mike Mosby. I went, man, what happened to Mike Mosby? I want to know. I want to talk to him. That was the host of our show, the Hip Hop Countdown and Report. Been talking a lot about this stuff. Got a lot of things coming up that we're going to announce. So, we took a little break. We needed to get our health and wellness together. We're back though. We're healthy. We're grateful. We're even the more insightful. And we see even the more a time of being able to tell our story, the prerequisite of telling our stories and helping you find your consciousness. Make plans to go to Ghana with this. Links coming soon. I got a payment plan for you. Yes, you can put a down payment on there and get it going. Go into Ghana. Go to Ghana with us. That's what we're trying to do. Go to Ghana. South Africa. I want to get over to East Africa. I've been talking to some folks in Ethiopia as we've been examining the civil unrest, the civil war that's going on over there, and understanding the perspective of the Ethiopians. This is the only nation of the 55 countries on the continent that has never been colonized by the European powers. So therefore, there is a perspective, I was going to say theory, but I don't want to say that, a perspective that says the West is, creating strife among tribal groups in order to turn their attention away from the rich natural resources that are in the region. This is the thing that happens in Africa all over the place, right? The European powers or the West or the powers that be are in there getting the natural resources. They're rich. Let's look at Ghana as an example of that. One of the shows that we did, we were talking about the depreciation of the Ghanaian cedi. That's their money. That's their currency. At one point in time, it was the best performing currency against the United States dollar. The US dollar is the mightiest currency in the world, right? Although it's getting some contest from the Chinese yuan, and I guess the Russian ruble's trying to get in there. But yeah, so the cedi was the best performing foreign currency against the United States dollar. Then after they had the year of return and all these black folks are going into Ghana, man, people of means, they're spending money, they're boosting tourism 100-fold, they're, pouring money into the economy out there in Ghana. And then all of a sudden, here you are 2 years later, and they have downgraded the Ghanaian cedi to junk status, the worst performing foreign currency against the United States dollar. And what I notice about that notion, and we'll continue this conversation another time, but what I notice about that notion is when economists begin to describe this depreciation and they show all of the countries that they have downgraded the currency against the dollar down to junk status or whatever the lowest ratings are, they're all countries that have beef with the United States. Venezuela, Zimbabwe. It's like, okay, guys, it's very, very interesting. So in the case of Ghana, how is it that one of the largest producers of gold, after all, it was called the Gold Coast, the largest producers of gold, bauxite, all kinds of minerals are coming out of that nation. How is it that their currency is now the worst in the world? Yeah, we got to think about these things. And I just think as a nation here, American descendants of slaves, we need to begin to make our connections of music, arts, and culture, commerce. Let's make commerce with Africa. What does that mean? Having a knowledge of agriculture, minerals, getting into the mining situations. I mean, there's so many opportunities, I believe, that we need to exert in order to build these bridges of culture with our brothers and sisters in Africa, to take back some of our economic power or enhance our economic power through global trade and global trade with Africa. All right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following us. This is Coffee Conversations with Greg J. We're heard on a number of Facebook pages, Coffee Conversations with Greg J. Beach City Perspective, that's our news platform. You can also see us at the website Beach City Radio, beachcityradio.com. We also will repurpose this and put it out there as an audio podcast wherever you get your favorite podcast, Spreaker, iHeart, iTunes, Apple, all that stuff, man. Just Google it, Coffee Conversations with Greg J. You'll see it, and you'll be able to listen to this fantastic program and what we have to share and offer with you, the diaspora. Last but not least, love one another, y'all. Love one another. Peace and blessings.